Mariah Carey, Songbird Supreme, Queen of Christmas, dedicated philanthropist.
I love and appreciate you so very, very much.
American singer, songwriter, record producer, and actress. Best known for her 5-octave vocal range, melismatic singing style, and signature use of the whistle register. Carey has firmly put her stamp on the modern music industry, inspiring female artists all over the world.
For me, it's about connecting with the fans.
One, I think it starts with her talent. You know, she's absolutely amazing when she sings. And if you ever get a chance to be around her and to meet her, you just find out how much of an incredible person she is.
Some of her prestigious awards include 5 Grammy Awards and numerous nominations, Billboard's Artists of the Decade, and the World Music Award for World's Best-Selling Female Artist of the Millennium.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody.
I mean, you know, she deserves it so much. She's one of the most talented writers ever. And, you know, a lot of times people forget because she's, you know, solo but on 1 million records and she's one of the greatest singers ever.
Despite facing adversity, Mariah continues to break record after record in the music industry. Mariah Carey was born in Huntington, Long Island, New York on March 27, 1969. Her name was derived from the song They Call the Wind Maria, originally from the 1951 Broadway musical Paint Your Wagon. The youngest of 3 children, Mariah comes from a multicultural background. Her mother, Patricia, is an Irish-American former opera singer and vocal coach. Carey's father, Alfred Roy Carey, was an aeronautical engineer of African-American and Afro-Venezuelan lineage. The Carey family were often victim to racial prejudice in Huntington, and they struggled to integrate with the community. On one occasion, their neighbors poisoned the family dog and set fire to the car. Mariah's early experiences had a long-lasting effect. Her parents divorced when Mariah was 3. She lived with her mother and brother, while her older sister lived with her father, with whom Mariah had very little contact. Her mother worked several jobs to support the family. Mariah started imitating her mother's operatic style at a very early age. Patricia never pushed her daughter into pursuing a career in classical opera, despite coaching her from the age of 4. Carey has since stated that while she fully respected opera, she felt that it didn't influence her own singing style. Music quickly consumed her. The young girl lived and breathed singing, often missing school due to her work as a demo singer. Her time working in the Long Island music scene introduced her to a variety of accomplished musicians, some of whom helped her co-write material for her demo tape. In the mid-'80s, Mariah made the big move to New York City. She worked multiple part-time jobs to pay her rent, as well as completing 500 hours of beauty school. The now young woman was not afraid of hard work. She remained firmly set on a career in music and therefore jumped at the opportunity to sing backup for Puerto Rican freestyle singer Brenda K. Starr. In December 1988, Mariah accompanied Starr to a CBS Record Executives Gala, where she handed her demo tape to the head of Columbia Records Tommy Mottola. After listening to the demo tape in the ride home, Mottola immediately asked the car to turn around, but Mariah had already left the event. In what has been described as a modern-day Cinderella story, Mottola spent the following 2 weeks searching for Mariah. Outbidding other labels, he eventually signed Mariah to Columbia Records and enlisted a number of top producers to work with the rising star.
I just think that the whole principle of competition in music is a little bit of a strain because it's not really about that to me. It's all about everybody's individual artistry, but it's fun and it's great, and I think that it's all about having a good time.
The label soon pitted her against rival chart-topping female artists such as Whitney Houston and Madonna. Without a moment to catch her breath, Mariah's new life in the world of music swiftly began. After a slow start, her debut self-titled album, Mariah Carey, eventually topped the Billboard 200 for 11 consecutive weeks, following her exposure at the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards, where she won the award for Best New Artist and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for a single, Vision of Love, 1990.
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's all about timing and someone coming out with great material and the public appreciating that. Get a chance to, blend my sound with other people's voices, and it's just a different thing than going in the studio by yourself. I've actually had a really good time with it on this project.
The album's singles, Vision of Love, Love Takes Time, Someday, and I Don't Wanna Cry, all topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, and the album Mariah Carey was the best-selling album in the U.S. in 1991 and sold over 15 million copies worldwide.
It's supposed to be a representation of, the fans and the record-buying public, so it's to answer your question as well, it's an incredible feeling because you know that the public out there is responding to your music and to what you're doing, and you can't ask for anything more than that. That's what you dream about, when you get into this field. So.
Mariah co-wrote, co-produced, and recorded her second studio album, Emotions, 1991, which was described as an homage to Motown soul music. Mariah employed Walter Afanasieff, Robert Clavilles, and David Cole to help with the creation of this new album. The title track and album's lead single became Mariah's 5th chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100. This made her the first artist to have their first 5 singles reach the chart's summit. In the single Emotions, she showcased her vocal talent and the ability to flutter her voice up and down an impressive 4 octaves. Whilst the album managed sales of 8 million copies globally, it was unable to reach the commercial and critical heights of its predecessor. Mariah reportedly refused to embark on a world tour to promote the album, which she explained was due to stage fright and the vocally challenging nature of her material. In light of this speculation grew that Mariah was, in fact, incapable of producing the perfect pitch and 5-octave vocal range for which she was known for. In order to put a stop to such speculations, Mariah booked an appearance on MTV Unplugged. Only a few days prior, Mariah and Afanasieff decided to include a cover version of the Jackson 5's infamous song, "I'll Be There," to the set. Mariah's live performance proved a major hit. "I'll Be There" became her 6th single on the Billboard Hot 100, and Sony released it as an EP. Carey had proved herself as a viable live performer, finally putting the criticisms and rumors to bed. Following the less commercially successful album Emotions, her next album was to be marketed as adult contemporary and pop-friendly. Mariah and Afanasieff worked together to produce the album Music Box, which began their songwriting partnership. She began dating Tommy Mottola while recording Music Box and married him in June 1993. It was a $500,000 ceremony at St. Patrick's Cathedral and was inspired by the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer. Her excuse for using the royal wedding as a basis for her own was that she never really had much interest in weddings as a girl, and she wanted to know what such a gala affair would be like. Carey's wedding dress had a 10-foot veil and a 27-foot train designed by Vera Wang. Wedding guests included Barbra Streisand, Bruce Springsteen, Ozzy Osbourne, among many more. The Music Box album was released in August 1993 to mixed reviews. Critics labeled Mariah's songwriting as cliched, and her vocal performances were described as less emotive and lazier in their delivery. Despite the album's criticism, Music Box's second single, Hero, became her 8th chart topper in the United States and has been recognized as her signature song. Hero calls for people to find the strength within themselves to keep going through the toughest of times. The song has consequently become a timeless ballad. For nearly 3 decades, Mariah has belted out this versatile and inspirational song to mark momentous occasions, including in the aftermath of the 9/11 terrorist attacks and at the inaugural ball for President Barack Obama in 2009. In 1994, Mariah turned her hand to one of the most competitive genres, Christmas music. Merry Christmas was released on November 1st, 1994, and became the best-selling Christmas album of all time, with global sales of over 15 million copies.
9,
The lead single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, became an instant holiday classic.
Thank you, Mariah, and help along the child.
The single continues to surge in popularity every Christmas season, topping charts and capturing listeners from around the world nearly 30 years later. In October 2017, it had become the 11th best-selling single in modern music. Eternalized in the Music Hall of Fame, All I Want for Christmas Is You, the beloved festive anthem, made Mariah Carey the Queen of Christmas. Outside of music, Mariah often devotes her free time to philanthropy. In the 1990s, Mariah became associated with the Fresh Air Fund and was the co-founder of a camp in Fishkill, New York, that enables inner-city youth to embrace the arts and introduces them to career opportunities.
Well, you know, Mariah's done so much in the philanthropic world, and we wanted to recognize her for the work that she does for music in the schools in the United States, keeping music programs, because it really promotes a better academic achievement for kids who think abstractly, and music has been cut, and it's one of the first things that's always cut from educational curriculums, and she's fought really hard to keep music in the schools. And she also does a lot for AIDS research and AIDS education. She raises and donates a lot of money for that cause as well. So she's done a lot. We rarely hear about it because we're always hearing about her legendary career, and so it's nice that we chose her.
The camp was called Camp Mariah in dedication of her generous support to Fresh Air children, and she received a Congressional Horizon Award for her youth-related charity work.
I'm here because it's a very important cause, and I wanted to come out to support it. And the MTV Awards are tonight, and that happened afterwards, and I was already committed to be here, and I felt it was really important that I come and stick by my commitment. And this is something that's more important than just hanging out, going to a party, and having fun. It's in order to benefit others.
I have friends who are, you know, like huge singers, especially on the show that I do, Victorious. Like, we have a bunch of singers on our show, so a lot of them look up to her as like an idol. I mean, like, she's got the most amazing voice, and she's made amazing records.
Her fifth studio album, Daydream, 1995, found her consolidating creative control over her career, which led to tensions with Columbia. The album featured her departure from pop to more R&B and hip-hop. Critically, the album was described as Mariah's best to date. The New York Times concluded Mariah's songwriting skills had taken a leap forward and become more relaxed, sexier, and less reliant on thudding cliches.
I mean, you know, she deserves this so much. She's one of the most talented writers ever. And, you know, a lot of times people forget because she's, you know, sold over 200 million records and she's one of the greatest singers ever. But they forget that she writes the songs. So, you know, this is a great honor for her, a great honor for us, a great honor for everyone, actually. You know what I mean? She's a real writer.
Mariah continued to incorporate heavy elements of hip-hop and R&B in her music. On her next album, Butterfly, she collaborated with multiple producers such as Sean Combs, Q-Tip, Missy Elliott and John Claude Oliver, and Samuel Barnes from Trackmasters. To this day, Carey views Butterfly as a real turning point in her life and career. In mid-1997, after 4 years of marriage, Mariah separated from Tommy Mottola due to their growing creative differences in terms of her albums. Mariah also described Mottola as increasingly controlling, which contributed to the deterioration of their relationship. Mariah had one album left to fulfill her contract with Sony, which was still headed by her ex-husband, Tommy Mottola. She was anxious to separate herself professionally from the record label and completed her album in 3 months. The album, titled Rainbow, was her first album not to feature Walter Afanasieff, and instead, Carey chose to work with David Foster and Diane Warren. In 2000, Mariah received 2 huge awards for her record-breaking success: Billboard's Artist of the Decade Award and the World Music Award for Best-Selling Pop Female Artist of the Millennium.
It's an amazing honor because all my life I've been a songwriter. Even as a little girl, I was writing poetry. That was my release. That was, something that got me through tough times. And so being able to be acknowledged for songwriting is something that's awesome because not everybody realizes that I write my own material and that I always have.
At a career high, the star decided to forge a new path for herself. She soon left Columbia Records and signed an unprecedented $100 million 5-album recording contract with Virgin Records in April 2001. Glitter, her first release with Virgin Records, was a complete musical departure from any of her previous albums, with Mariah given full conceptual and creative control over the project.
It's very important to me, more than career-wise, in terms of my growth as a human being and as an artist. It's helped me in terms of studying and really helped me, and it's taken a while to get this project going, but finally we're on track, and I'm also writing and producing songs for the soundtrack. It's set in the 80s, but more than just one project. It's really helped me become a much freer individual, because before I was very blocked and very just uptight and nervous and just not dealing with a lot of the realities of my life. And so studying acting has helped me a lot.
She's incredibly down to earth and very grounded, and just a really lovely person. She makes you very comfortable, and she really has no pretensions about her. She's an extremely nice person, a very real person. And, we were just working. We were making a film together, and she, it was lovely,
I think he needs you.
Okay.
Aaron turned to me and said, well, Lee wasn't that difficult.
So Mariah's Leah D.
And the truth is, her character in the movie, struggled the way I think Mariah did when she was coming up through the ranks. It actually is not that far other than the town and some of the situations, but just working it out, gritting it out, and writing music and trying, trying to get people to hear your music, and just that whole thing is pretty similar, I think, to her background to a certain extent, so.
However, in July of 2001, Mariah suffered a physical and emotional breakdown. She began posting a series of disturbing messages on her website and made a surprise appearance on Total Request Live, where she displayed erratic and worrying behavior. Mariah was eventually hospitalized, citing extreme exhaustion and a physical and emotional breakdown as the reason. She remained under her doctor's care for 2 weeks, followed by an extended absence from the public.
The dress is Michael Kors, right? It's a little ensemble. Little being the operative word. And I thought it would accentuate the loose side award.
Virgin Records and 20th Century Fox delayed the release of Glitter until September that year.
In a world where proving yourself is everything.
Hey, Billy, can you repeat that verse?
Okay. They don't matter. They're just backup.
One woman is about to get the chance.
When the microphone comes, do something special.
Mariah credited the project's poor performance on her state of mind during the time of its release. Regretting her decision to join Virgin Records as a complete and total stress fest, Mariah decided to buy out her contract with Virgin. She soon launched the record label MonarC with Island Records.
I don't know, it's just this euphoric feeling of finally being in a place where I feel really like what I've done is paying off for the first time personally and professionally.
Mariah now had full creative control over her life and career. Although the early 2000s were quiet for Mariah's music career, she released her 9th studio album, Charm Bracelet, in 2002, which she thought marked a new lease on life for her.
I love her because she's old school, isn't she? She's like proper balmy, you know, I love it.
But will you have her on your show?
Oh, I'd love to have her on, and she could sing.
Mariah's 10th studio album, The Emancipation of Mimi, was produced with Neptune's, Kanye West, and Mariah's longtime collaborator, Jermaine Dupri. She described the album as a party record, which was warmly accepted by critics.
This is the point when I need everybody to get to the dance floor. It's like that, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, or that, or like that, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, y'all. That, or that, or like that, y'all. That, y'all.
I came to have a party.
The album's second single, We Belong Together, became her big comeback track after a few years out of the spotlight. Critics heralded the song as her return to form. The Emancipation of Mimi earned 10 Grammy Award nominations. Mariah won Best Contemporary R&B Album and Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best R&B Song for We Belong Together. This song became Mariah's 16th chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100 and was listed as the Song of the Decade.
To feel that R&B has always been close to my heart, and you know, it's one of those things where I'll always make music, I'll always sing and write songs, but writing songs is something I just have to do for me as an individual.
Well, first of all, I want to give all respect to Mariah Carey tonight. She's been absolutely phenomenal throughout her entire career, so I'm honored, completely honored to be here tonight to celebrate her.
However, the pop icon showed no appetite for slowing down. In early 2007, Mariah created her 11th studio album, E=MC².
Emancipation being the last record that I did, Emancipation of Mimi, equals MC, which are my initials and what most people call me, to the second power. So it's kind of like this is part two of the moment of feeling emancipated and just having a great time and making music that I love.
Touch My Body became her 18th #1 single, which made her the solo artist with the most #1 singles in United States history. pushing her past Elvis Presley into second place behind the Beatles. An astronomical achievement for the world's darling diva. A year later, Mariah's personal life took a new direction. She began dating actor and comedian Nick Cannon, and they quickly got married on April 30th of that year in the Bahamas. Happy and in love, the pair welcomed twins Monroe and Moroccan 3 years later. Her family was now complete. Despite balancing motherhood and music, Mariah became keen to pursue other talents and avenues. And, to the delight of many fans, the star turned to acting. During 2009, Mariah appeared in Precious, the movie adaptation of the 1996 novel Push by Sci-Fi.
So I called Mariah. I said, Mariah, what you doing? You wanna work on a movie called Precious? And she said it was a book that she loved.
There are very intense themes to this film. And yes, I can not necessarily relate to, but I can understand and empathize with Precious and what she's been through, because I think we've all been through something similar on a certain level. You know, maybe it's on a smaller level, maybe it's on the same level, but it's just not as deep. And so I felt that it was my duty just to really, like I said, strip down all the, you know, extras and really just be raw in this film and really try to do my best to bring to light what was going on with her character to help other people, because I do think this film is going to help a lot of people.
A friend of mine named Rhonda gave me the book. We were on the beach, and she said, "You have to read this." She was reading it, and then she was crying the whole time. And she said, "If you don't read this, I'm going to kill you." And so, you know, I read the book. I cried my way through it, and then I read it again, and ever since then I've just been like, yeah, man, that book was incredible. Sapphire is a genius. And then Lee told me he got the rights to do the movie, and I think for years she's been saying no to people, and he's the perfect person to do this film, and I'm so excited and so happy that it's made into a film, and I hope that it can help as many people as possible, because I believe it will.
The film received mostly positive reviews, with Mariah's performance described as pitch perfect.
Just de-glamorous. It was like de-glamorized. Let me add some hideousness on top and sprinkle it through, and just ugly juice. You can drink some ugly juice. It was.
Ugly juice, all right.
Stop trying to act like you don't know how I act.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm taking you to beating you up. I've learned so much, not just from reading the novel to doing the part of Miss Weiss, who is not a very likable character, and I had to kind of go there and say, what does this woman feel every day? What is it like to be in this situation every day? In addition to just losing everything about me, not just my hair, my makeup, but you know, mannerisms, all those things. But Precious And then when Oprah and Tyler joined on, I mean, it was just enough for me that Lee was there guiding me through, and we all had a great time. But when Oprah and Tyler came along, it was amazing.
In 2010, Mariah won the Breakthrough Actress Performance Award for her role in Precious.
You gonna stand up there and look down at me like you're a woman? You don't know what real women do. Real women sacrifice. Now smile about that, you fat bitch. Get down here.
Can we talk about the abuse in your household? You know what I'm talking about.
You sit there and judge me, and you write them notes on your pad about who you think I am.
In 2015, she was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
When one describes Mariah as a diva, I instantly think of all the kind gestures, like never forgetting my children's birthdays, right? Or the fact that she never has a bad word to say about anyone, even if it isn't always reciprocated, ever. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
In 2014, Mariah's marriage to Nick Cannon came crashing down. Balancing personal and professional life became too much for the duo. The famous couple split up amicably and later divorced in 2016. Both stars co-parent their beloved 2 children and remain on good terms. Nick now has 12 children with 6 different women, but remains wholeheartedly respectful towards Carey. Mariah has also found new happiness with backup dancer Brian Tanaka, who seems devoted to the singer and her 2 children.
Hey, Mariah, did you accidentally steal Meryl Streep's seat?
It wasn't on purpose.
Her heart is gold. Her heart is pure. We've watched her in the media from the beginning. Her ups, her downs, we've lived them. We love her for them. She's with us. I speak to you as a personal friend. She's ride or die.
Some critics have regarded Mariah as past her prime in recent years. Mariah's performance on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve in 2016 went down in history for all the wrong reasons due to the performance train wreck after Mariah had a faulty earpiece. Both parties involved blamed each other for the performance. But mishaps aside, it is clear that the fairy tale is far from over. At 54 years of age, Mariah still sells out concert halls and stadiums, both in the U.S. and all over the globe, a sure sign of her ongoing popularity.
Yeah, I love performing for the fans there. It's just, we're going to be at the O2, and it's really, I'm very excited.
She has even spread her wings further into the film business, starring as the mayor of Gotham in the 2017 Lego Batman movie. In September 2020, Mariah released her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey. The book recounts an improbable and inspiring journey of survival and resilience as she struggles through complex issues of race, identity, class, childhood, and family trauma during her meteoric rise to superstardom.
Thank you so much to everybody for being here. I love and appreciate you so very, very much.
The New York Times bestseller told her story on a personal level, tracking just how far the little girl from Huntington had come. And if one thing is for certain, Mariah Carey's journey is far from over yet.
The music business has evolved and is so different now, but it's really, Billboard has a special significance for me as an artist, with all that I've been through and everything, and just the breaking different records and things like that. That's great, but being so close to the fans and knowing that this is really what the fans have made #1 long-lasting hit records is amazing.
Nice to see you. Good to see you. We'll see you soon.
Okay, let's see you soon. It was great.
Right there, right there, right there.
Mariah Carey was born to be a singer. Her God-given gift has crossed borders, oceans, and time zones, inspiring millions of listeners for over 3 decades. Her career has shattered the glass ceiling over and over again. Her stardom and voice continue to break down barriers and lead the way in creating a clearer path for multiracial artists everywhere.
Like I'm this princess that fell down from, Never Never Land and grew up, exfoliating my skin with diamonds. No, that's not who I am. I really kind of had a lot of intense things happen to me as a child and growing up and stuff like that.
From the neighborhoods of Huntington to the world stage, Mariah Carey has conquered the hearts of millions. The Songbird Supreme will forever be a centerpiece in the Music Hall of Fame.